Hello everyone, this is Mary Fredericks and I am really excited to do a peekaboo card with you today. So this set, when I saw this set in the August to December mini catalog, or some of you call it the holiday catalog, with Stampin' Up, I knew it just had to be it just begged to be a peekaboo card. Let me be a peekaboo card, please. So it's called Gnome for the Holidays, and it's a really good price. And gnomes are very popular right now, and you'll have a lot of fun with these, with doing your Christmas stamping. Here's a few examples. One's the practice ones that I've done. I will tell you, it does seem like it's a little tricky, but once you get the knack of it, it's not so bad. See how it opens up and this cute little gnome pops out. I like this one. You can decorate differently, of course, but I think the deer in the woods kind of go with the gnome theme. Here's one that's just done in white. And that one works too. I think I will need to work on this a little more and do maybe do some snowflakes or something along here. And it isn't just this stamp set. There's just any number of stamp sets that would make good peekaboo cards. Here's one with the cows. It's pretty cute. Kids love this one. So let's get started. Okay, of course, the first thing you have to do is to measure and cut your paper and score. For this project, you're going to need two 8.5 by 11 sheets. And this to me seems like the best way to get the most out of your paper, and that is to do the two larger sheets. Your inside piece is going to be 4.25 by 8.25. So it's going to have just a little scrap piece to cut off at the end. The inside piece is 4.25 by 8.5. So there isn't any waste there. And it is scored right in the middle at 4.25. And then you have this strip along here that you might want to use to do your images. It seems to be just perfect for those 3 images. And then there's one more piece to cut, and that is the back piece, which is 4.25 by 5.75. And it is scored just very narrowly at 5.5. So this makes just a little 1/4 inch folded strip here. And you'll see how that works in a minute. So I really encourage you to make a template like this and put it in your file so that when you want to do you get the bug to do a peekaboo card, you'll have it all ready. Another thing I encourage you to do is to get some practice pieces that are, again, kind of a template. So this is not the card we're going to make, but it's just kind of our pieces to play with. So I'm going to be referring to the 3 pieces as front, inside, and back. Okay, so this inside piece is really the key that holds it all together. So because it's going to glue onto the front like this, and then it's also going to glue onto your back piece, so that when this little piece on the front, this 2 3/4 piece scored, is folded under, that's what's going to make it's going to slide in. You can't see it now because I don't have the holes cut, which is what we're going to do next. So we're going to do this one in blue, which I think will be very pretty. We shall see. So I've labeled it because with a little bit of washi tape, which I can just easily pull off. I've also cheated a little bit here and done put an X where I'm going to put do the hole punch. And there's another place I'm going to, right here is going to be another hole punch. So that won't matter because we'll just discard that circle. So another thing I've also done here is I have, pull them out. I've already colored. You don't need to watch me color. And of course, I just love the Stampin' Blends, but any kind of marker pen or however you like to color works just fine. So let's get started. Let's just stick these pieces on as far as we can before we start putting it all together. Such a cute little house. I always like to do some dimensionals to make things pop out a little more. Now, I will tell you that these words that I pre-did, you want to be careful and really encourage you to use a Stamparatus for this, because as you can see, with any time you're using these really thin words, it is just about, well, I did pretty good that time, but it's just about impossible not to get a little edge and to get it even. But the Stamparatus helps so much. And then if you don't get it dark enough or you miss a spot the first time, you get a second chance. So that's just my encouragement to you. So we got this guy on. Now we're going to do our little girl in the front. And I have punched her out already in like, I think it's a 2 1/4 punch. So it's going to be bigger than this one, which is 1 3/4. Using your die cuts is also a really good option. I love the die cuts with the little edge on them, or with the, looks like it's a sewing piece. So I think we'll get this guy right here is just fine. Maybe a little farther. Hopefully that's going to work. And she's just going to go right on the back. Okay, what do you think? Get the star in there. There you go. Is she cute with her little Christmas tree? It makes me laugh. So basically now we have the front. And we have one more hole punch to do, which is really kind of tricky. I'll tell you why. Just a minute. So let's see, I put the X down there again. Let me know where that hole is going to be punched. You don't want to put a punch in and then you've ruined your paper if it's in the wrong place. There we go. Again, those are just discarded. And that's where our little guy is going to go. But instead of gluing this gnome down here, he has to be our peekaboo guy. So he's got to go on this front right here. We want to make sure we get him in exactly the right place. So I'm going to mark that with a pencil. Maybe even circle it in. That way I know it goes there. Let's just eyeball that a little bit. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Oh, let's hope that works. I want them up just a tad bit higher. Now that's the nice thing about the snail. It kind of lets you do that. Okay, perfect. So you can take this. Well, now on the inside, you can put whatever embellishments you want. Like you saw, I did quite a bit on that one. I'm going to just stick him on here. I think he's so cute. I wanted the whole thing to show. I think he's out searching for something. Put him right in the middle. There you go. Okay, now it's time to assemble. So like I said, this middle piece is really going to be important. So we got the front piece, we got our inside middle piece, and we have our back piece. Remember I said the that middle piece, inside piece is what kind of holds it all together. So let's put this down, and I have already put a piece of tear tape here. So we want this to hold really well. It's going to get a lot of use. This is the kind of card that people like to just sit and play with. So I think I'm going to stand up to get this exactly in the right place, because once it sticks, it's going to be down there for good. Okay, so good, got that part. Now this guy, this little girl, in the front, now see, this is your front piece, is going to glue down to the middle or inside piece. Lots of snail or whatever adhesive, glue top, whatever you want to use. And you just lay that right down. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so we've got our little man here. I'm going to just tuck him on the inside. See how he goes? Now, the moment of reckoning. Let's open and see what happens. There he goes. Peekaboo. And I encourage you to use your little picker tool. Love this thing. Put some jewels on, because don't all, isn't that part of being a gnome that you have jewels around? So really in love with these holiday jewels. Stampin' Up has this year. And I'm in love with this picker tool as well. Look at how quickly it goes. Remember when, at least I remember, trying to use my little pointy tool or use my tweezers or something. Anyway, there you go. There's no end to how many jewels you could put on there. One other little tip before I go, and I can take this off now because we don't need it, is that sometimes it doesn't always slide just perfectly, because this part here, this little tiny 1/4-inch strip that's down, kind of catches it. So just good old Scotch tape will smooth that out, okay? And now we're done. So enjoy making your peekaboo card.